with Kristen and Jarrell Abraham.
Welcome back.
Thank you for joining us today. Make sure that you subscribe and also follow us on Insta.
My Instagram is JCA Official. Her Instagram is
Kristen Nicole Official. We also have Yahweh Music LLC, so you might want to check that out.
Yes, that is also our music page on Instagram. So a lot of dope content on there.
Okay, so let's get started. Today we want to talk about how to heal from your past.
Yeah, this is a heavy one, guys. Get ready.
I got lots of notes. Face it. The only way to address a problem is to recognize that it's there. If you don't want the emotional scars of your past to be in your life, you have to deal with it at the root. What or who caused your pain? Identify what happened and why it hurt you so badly. Us as adults make decisions presently as if we are stuck in the past. The scared child we once were is now running our lives. You are older, and as bad as it hurts to reflect, it is necessary. Issues with intimacy and commitment, for starters, have everything to do with what we learned as a child. Nature versus nurture. I'm just going to keep reading.
Alright, so she's got a lot written down.
I got a lot written
you
down.
You can actually take notes on whatever she's written, but she's just going to read it all to the end and then we'll discuss it.
Okay? You can have a sweet, fun-loving personality and be bitter. When you hear a song or name or recognize a certain sense, naturally you are kind, but nurture has taught you something different. At some point, you learn not everyone is for you. Maybe you didn't know what to do and ended up in the same situation no matter who was involved. So you grew up thinking there was something wrong with you. As an adult, you go through a never-ending cycle of insecurity due to suppressed memories. The best thing to do is to identify the suppressed memories to deal with the root cause of those emotions. What lies are you allowing to hold you captive? Okay, so I think that I like to read everything and then we'll break it down step by step because I feel like it just keeps me more organized.
Okay. Well, let's use me as an example. Put me on the spot this episode. So that way, it's not like...
What do you mean use
well, since you did all the reading, if you have like any examples you want to use or questions.
Okay. So, well, face it, the only way to address a problem is to recognize that it's there.
Right. In counseling and in therapy, like psychology, they say that's the first step to acknowledging, or the first step to fixing a problem is acknowledging that there is one. So I think that's where you were going with that, right?
Exactly. So in order to address the issue, you have to be honest with yourself in knowing that there is an issue that then needs to be fixed. Which leads into the emotional scars. A lot of times we have scars that we didn't even know were there because there's just so many things that we have left unaddressed, and that really we'll get into this with part 2, but it really plays a part in your overall health, your mental, your physical state of being.
Emotional too. Emotional's a big one.
Yeah.
I honestly say emotional only because that's the aspect of it that most people either don't talk about, don't deal with, or it's not really common knowledge to accept that your emotional health, emotional damage, or emotional scarring or baggage can be just as, detrimental and effective as physical and mental,
Right.
So, yeah.
That's why it's important to identify what or who hurt you. Because a lot of times the lines are blurred. So you're not even sure what exactly happened or who. Like, there's this saying, and I know that this happens with me a lot. It's like, you don't remember what a person did, but you remember how they made you feel. So it's kind of like you have to get to the root of the problem, and that's where I also mentioned the suppressed memories. A lot of times, in order for us to survive, which is what we spoke about in the last episode, what was the name of that one that we just did?
Was it changes?
It was changes, yeah. So the last episode, you might want to refer to that. We spoke about being adaptable and changing to your surroundings. That will also help you in this aspect. But we spoke about the difference between surviving and thriving.
Right.
So a lot of times, a coping mechanism to survive is to suppress.
Yep.
So you suppress your memories, and then you remember that person really rubbed me the wrong way, but then you don't remember why. And then a lot of times that's what happens when we repeat cycles.
Right.
So we end up, even if it's a different person, we end up doing the same thing, or we end up being around the same friend or in the same type of relationship or whatever that actually damaged us in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like doing the same thing over and over, expecting something different
Right.
out of it, which is the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Your pattern of behavior contributes to the people that you're around and their patterns of behavior. And if these behaviors are unhealthy for you, you're going to get the same result no matter how much you want a different one. So you have to take a different approach sometimes. But yeah.
Absolutely. So, in conclusion, but no, seriously, dealing with your past, it's a very sensitive subject, and it's a very untouched subject, because
Yeah.
I think there's no right way to do it. Like in life, just in general, there's no right way to do life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our handbook is the Bible.
Correct.
So a lot of things that we do, a lot of things that we discuss, I would love to say all of them, but nobody's perfect. So, but our general basis of being
ultimately,
currently,
everything does refer back to the word,
it's scripture.
even if it's not right away. We always use
Right.
that as like a manual. So it's like if we don't talk about something specifically from there or directly from there,
Right.
eventually it traces back. It'll be like, okay, well let's see what it says about it now. You know?
Exactly. So that actually is the manual
Yeah.
to life.
The Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth.
Right. So, basic instructions before leaving Earth. Where did that come from?
I heard it in a church service one time when I was a kid.
Wow. There you have it, folks. Right. My mind is blown right now. Well, because I really think that is accurate. But yeah, because it's really, that's what it is. The instructions for life.
Yeah.
And so otherwise, there is no actual manual. And then it doesn't really say to just do things one way. And I believe the reason for that is because God knows, like, He made everybody different. So we all have different personalities. We have different ways of handling things. So it's like, He doesn't really expect us to just do things one way.
Yeah.
But the general basics of what to do is in there.
You're right on point. So, this is something that that we use in our lives. And that's why she's explaining all that. Because a lot of the knowledge, a lot of the information, a lot of game that we soaked up is from the Word. And to be honest with you, no matter where else you get it from, it's going to trace back there. I guarantee it, 100%. So, just keep that in mind. But if your objective is to heal from your past, I'm going to hubby back on everything she said. If your objective is mainly just to heal from your past, you have to be focused on the fact that that's the past. The present is called the present because it's the gift that you're given. You're not promised another day, but to see one is a blessing, it's a gift. So you've got your past, which in this particular case, if you're watching this episode, is something you want to heal from, and that's why you're checking this out. And then you've got present, where it's like, okay, what do I do now? Right? And that's what makes us reflect. That's what makes us actually introspect and look at things in retrospect. Then you got the future. That's the most important part. Because no matter where you go, what you're doing, you're going to feel like your past affects your future until you deal with your past. So once you've made peace with your past, then you can head towards the future with no hesitation, without looking back. There's nothing to look back towards. And there's no need for it, you know. So, yeah, I think that's really the gist of part one of what we're saying. Is basically, you know, definitely follow her notes. You know, if you got to rewind it, but, you know, there's different key points in your own life. And sometimes these things are hard. They're hard to face. But that's the part that takes courage, you know. The courage of, you know, actually acknowledging who, what, when, where, and why is how you deal with your past. The main thing you need is that courage and that faith to know that you don't have to get stuck there.
Thank you for watching. God bless, and don't forget to subscribe. We will see you next time for episode 2 of Healing from Your Past.
Part 2.
Part 2.
God bless you guys. See you then.
Okay, bye.